F1, the pinnacle of motorsport, where the fastest drivers are and the best cars race. And today we'll be looking at none other than Lewis Cole David Hamilton. Or just Lewis Hamilton, I don't know why I said that. But yeah, now that he's a 6 times world champion, that's amazing. I ain't gonna lie to you lot. I don't think I would have ever seen someone overtake Schumacher, but I think he's gonna be able to do it. And if Mercedes keep doing the same car they did last year, it's just gonna, and they've won this year as well, it's just going to be amazing. But before I get into it, thanks for the continued support, we're rising to that 3 subscribers strong, get the fuck in there. And also I want to thank Dhammy, who doesn't know who I am, but I've literally just stole this clip, I just thought it was a really good clip, and I thought I'd just use it, and it sums up everything really perfectly, not going to lie to you. So, Dhammy, don't copyright this or whatever you can do. Hope you like the video, it doesn't know who I am, but anyway, moving on. So, let's look at more of the backstory, of course. We're going to do a little bit of driver profile, and my opinions, of course, as you know, a bit mixed. But let's get into it. So, Lewis Hamilton was born in Stevenage on the 7th of January 1985. Bit of a shithole for people that don't know where Stevenage is. I think I've been there once, and never again. So, moving on. Lewis Hamilton started his karting career very young, and this was kind of a time for him and his dad to spend time together. And it wasn't actually in the form of karting that he started off with, it was actually toy race car driving, I think it was. And this is where the passion developed from there. And I do want to say a big respect for Lewis Hamilton's dad, who, as we know, was just a workhorse. And he just helped out a lot, several jobs a day, night and day. He tried to get Lewis, to his karting, and it's just that faith that he put in him at such a young age. It's great to see now. And it's kind of paid off. It's definitely paid off for him. He's got millions in the bank that, rich can't. But moving on, as Lewis Hamilton grew older, we saw him that winning was almost natural to him. By 10, he was the youngest ever winner of the British Cadet Kart Championship, which is amazing. I don't know nothing about the British Cadet Championship, but at youngest at 10, it's definitely competitive, and that just shows the true talent he is. And of course, there's a funny story with Lewis Hamilton at 13 approaching Ron Dennis and just saying, one day I want to race your cars. And to be fair, that's pretty ballsy, all respect to him. You've got to give it to the lad. He knew what he wanted. By the time he was 17, he signed for McLaren and Mercedes Young Driver Support Programme, and this resulted in him later on winning the British Formula Renault Championship, European Formula 3 and GP2 Championship. I don't think GP2 Championship exists anymore, maybe I'm stupid, but yeah. But that was all in 2006, and in 2007, of course, he made his famous F1 debut. Now, as we know, it was probably the most greatest season that I missed out on, of course, in my young age, and that was the championship fight between Kimi Raikkonen and Lewis Hamilton. It's one of the greatest head-to-head fight in the championships, and it actually only finished with Lewis being 1 point behind at second, and that just shows what an amazing talent he is. And just to finish 1 point behind in your first season, just wow, that's amazing. And we always talk about Leclerc, Vettel, all having these amazing championships, but coming second in your first one, Jesus, by 1 point. Imagine if you won it. But anyway, also that McLaren car, oh my god, that is so nice. The chrome. Why have they changed it? Why is it orange? Am I the only one that doesn't like that? Everyone thinks it's all right, but the chrome red. Oh, take me, best chrome ever. Best livery ever. But moving on, next season was 2008, and that is one of the most famous Lewis Hamilton ones ever. And it was actually one of my earliest memories of F1, where he came from 8th, I think, all the way to the last 3 corners, taking over a car and winning the championship. Massa was there crying, the wanker, and he was just there riding in the joy, of his McLaren. And I just think that's amazing. And his record that season was 5 wins and 10 podiums, which, moving on from there, however, in 2009 to 2014, McLaren just weren't the same, and they couldn't really compete for championships, and that left Lewis to move to Mercedes in 2014. But looking back at it, Hamilton did actually say at the time that McLaren is where he just wanted to stay and finish his career. But he didn't finish higher than 4th in the season, so it's just amazing. He didn't finish higher than 4th after that, so I kind of get it looking back at it, I understand. And now there's a little bit of controversy when he joined Mercedes, because they weren't that much of a competitor compared to McLaren, and they were just at a different level basically, and people were slating it a little bit. But I think this kind of shows a good story of either Hamilton's a genius or Mercedes were really confident in their abilities, because the second minute he came, they started winning championships, and that's because of the rule changes, of course. But he won his second championship in 2014 while winning 11 out of 19 races. So that's more than half. Good maths there. And anyway, which is amazing, and it just started the dominance that Mercedes have today, and have won every single championship since then, which is quite shit for the sport, but we'll get back into that. But anyway, we can see that he won one in 2015 as well, but 2016 is where it got interesting, and yes it did, with Rosberg coming in, and Rosberg was like, he lost the 2015-14 one, he just came in like, no, I'm not having this anymore, no shit, comes in and wins the whole championship. And as we can remember that Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, while Lewis trying to hold everyone up, Rosberg was like, no, fuck off mate, no shit. And he's won it, and that's why I think Rosberg's just not talked about enough with the greatest. I mean, he was the only one, I think, to this day, because Bottas, oh my, don't even get me started on Bottas. Fucking cheerleader that man is. What the fuck is he doing in the car? He's just literally there to help Lewis. And it's kind of fair, because then Rosberg and Lewis didn't like each other at all at the end. But still, he was the only one that could challenge Lewis, and it's a shame that he retired after that season, because if he stayed, I think the sport would have been more interesting. But it's still Lewis winning. And anyway, this really, after 2016, it really showed Lewis's dominance after that, and 2017, 18, 19, he just won them all really, and that makes him the championship like leader of the whole grid, and also this year he is the championship winner. And I just think that's amazing that he's able to do all this, and the fact that he's 34 and he's still going strong, no signs of weakness, and driving ability wise, he's just amazing. He can always produce when time needed. And it kind of just brings the question that, is he better than Schumacher? Now, in my opinion, I didn't watch a lot of Schumacher, but my God, was Lewis Hamilton good. He has this ability that I just know that no matter what happens, he can just win when he's not supposed to win. And I've actually copied that from Aldas. And I just think it is amazing that he can just pull anything out of anything, really. Like, but of course, here comes the opinion, which, of course, we all like, want to hear. Well, no one really, but this is just why he annoys me, really, is why I'm going into this. And it's just the fact that the guy is too dominant. He always wins. It's like, where's the challenge? Last 6 years. So I'm 17 at this point, but since I was 11, this guy's been winning. Like, how fucking boring. I wasted my whole life watching this guy win. Like, what the fuck? Why? And it just makes the sport boring. And I can understand why everyone's kind of losing viewers, because it's just winning is so easy for someone like Hamilton. It just makes it boring. And also the fact that he always bitches. Oh my God, does this guy whine on the radio 24/7, yap, going this, left through, right rear. Oh, it doesn't work. Well, why the fuck is it fine at the end of the race then when you win it? Yeah, you don't hear any complaints. Oh, thanks guys, team's fault. You do know because teams won it, thank you. No, you're not thanking a team when you're complaining at them for 90 fucking laps. Wasting my time. He's just making it up. I think it's excuses at this point, dead honestly, I think it's excuses of why he, just to fall back on. So when he does interviews at the end, he's like, oh, the tyre pressure weren't there. Shut up. Michael always complains. It really fucking annoys me. And I do want to see his dominance end. And I think with 2021 that could change, but I've got myself happy before. And another team like Mercedes could come, spend fucking 175 million, much better than anyone else, and bang, they start winning again. And it's another cycle. I don't understand why sometimes I watch the sport, but fair enough at this point. I'm too hooked. I'm too hooked to waste 2 hours of my life on a Sunday watching Lewis Hamilton win. But that was a video, that was a little rant there. I did do a video rant as well, but that's the first one, and that was just a waste of time. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Tell me what you think of Lewis Hamilton in the comments below. And yeah, that would be it. And thank you Dhammy for letting the video. And subscribe as well. I forgot about the subscribe. Let's get that free going up a little bit.